In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about getting into leadership, getting into that level of growth where you now have to work with people. You've been shining as a star, so to speak, shining as a star in the technology world, doing your stuff, being recognized as a person. Now you have to lead the team to the point of success that you will get the team recognized. And you have to lead a team to the point where you don't have to know everything. Remember, I was a SQL Server expert, and I now got to a point where this had happened. My boss had to resign to go to AWS, Jerome. I didn't, 2 weeks earlier, Jerome had mentioned, Charles, one of my other colleagues had said, where do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself going to technical leadership, core technical growth in your career, or you want to be a manager? I didn't know he was asking me that question deliberately, but eventually they left like 2 months later, and I became the acting head of the database team. Now, as the acting head of the database team, I had to look at the structure of the team and make some changes, because you must build your team for efficiency. You must build your team to be efficient. And in order to build your team to be efficient, you must recognize the components of your team, the skill sets, the people, the attitudes, and then know how to organize people in order to make sure that as a team you're efficient. So the first thing I did is that, look, this was a team of 16 people. I had hired, as part of my initial effort, I actually hired 7 additional young people to join our team. So it brought us to about 16. So by hiring 7 additional people at this level, those who were more experienced now had the potential of playing leadership roles. So I put up a structure that allowed me to be the head of the team in its entirety. And then I could have some of the more experienced fellows as sub-team leaders. This was not in the organogram of the organization, but it was a way I designed to basically lead my team. So we had somebody in charge of the Oracle, we had somebody in charge of SQL Server, MySQL, documentation. I mean, just made up sort of ways in which we could have more accountability within the team, ways in which we could help my subordinates or my former team members feel that they are also part of the leadership and they could take decisions and drive decisions and so forth. So I think it worked, because the newbies could learn and grow with their sub-team leads. I could always find somebody who was responsible for one aspect of the game, and basically people had the opportunity to show their value and potentially get promoted. The way you handle people within the team, and I'm going to talk later about the people, process, technology triangle, but the way you handle people plays out and affects how smooth your processes become and how much you use the technology, how effectively you're going to be able to use the technology that is available to you, whether that technology is paper, a computer, or a massive data center. So organizing your team. For me, I think structure is one of the first things you try to address when you are given a leadership opportunity in an existing organization. Address the structure. Clarify roles and responsibilities. Give people promises in terms of the outcomes, how the outcomes will pan out. Because I believe that if I let you focus on one particular aspect of the game, you have the opportunity to show your value in that aspect, really hone your skills, and then I can make a case for your promotion or otherwise. So that structure, that's how I handled entering into that structure. Creating that structure meant that I now had to begin to pull out a bit from my core role, my previous core role as the SQL Server expert. So I had 2 people who I began to mentor in that area and said that, look, while I am now doing both management and support, I need you to take the bigger chunk of the technical support. That's my story about getting leadership